So, how do you maximize your views on YouTube? In this training, I'm going to be going through some simple YouTube strategies that you can try for reaching your first 1,000 subscribers and beyond, growing your channel. And today I'm joined by a friend, a YouTube expert, Dan from vidIQ, and we're going to be breaking down some channels. Now, we're not doing open channel reviews, but we've got some strategic channels that you're going to be able to learn from and how you can apply that to your videos, your shorts, maybe your branding, so that ultimately you can stand out and grow in a 2023 YouTube world. And we're also going to be doing a title training, specifically a little bit on how to write more powerful titles so you can get more clicks, so that ultimately you can get more views. But I want to welcome Dan to the stream today. Dan, how's it going?
It's going fantastic. Thanks for having me. How's everybody?
Yes, we're fired up. Shout us out where you're watching from. And I'm excited to dive into the first channel today. And we're going to be breaking down and, of course, extrapolating tips that we can learn and apply to our channels. And this is Geology Dude. And so let's get a vision here. Hello, rock people. I'm Dave, Geology Dude, a college professor and geologist. And his channel is all about rock identification. Let's see, we've got some videos over here on the tab. Martha Lake, erratic big rock. We've got a historic gold bluet mining district, Washington rock here. I'll be coming to you, Dan, first, but just getting an overview. We've got some shorts going over here. And Geology Jude's over at TikTok, 551 subscribers. Let's do a little health audit here. We got 13,000 views in the last 28 days, 77 new subscribers with 19 uploads. And so I think 2 weeks, 1 month, he's definitely tapped into shorts, the maybe 2 videos of longs in the last month. But over here on shorts would be where a lot of those uploads are coming from. And maybe the boost in views are from a couple 500s here. Looks like a 700 view here, 4,400 views, smoky quartz short. Who would have thought? And this is exciting. YouTube has so many different niches and different types of opportunities. So Dan, what are some of your initial thoughts on how this channel could grow a little bit faster?
When I'm trying to get a sense of what the channel is doing in the videos, because when I see this, I think, okay, so this is a great opportunity to give us some facts about the different, rocks and minerals that you're looking at. I can't hear the audio. What were they saying in this? Oh, you muted it.
All right. Hello, rock people. Geology Dude. This is the big rock in Martha Lake. Introduction and the definition of an erratic. He's got some good chapters on here. Examples of sediment, characteristics of erratic. So it's kind of feels like an education channel. Maybe like if you were to go to a history class, a geology class, should say, and learn about rocks and learn about the facts of the rocks.
So I wonder if one thing that could help is really focusing, because I'm trying to think like, okay, how would I get this content to relate to me as someone who doesn't really, I don't have an inherent interest in this, but there's probably a lot of really cool facts that I would appreciate. I'd find really neat, but I would need something to tie it to me. So I think it's a good strategy already. Like Martha Lake, as like, okay, this is the location I'm in and this is the kind of stuff you can find. But I kind of wonder if the titles could be like even more impactful. Historic. Oh, sorry. I was reading the title. The titles I think need to be a little more impactful here to kind of bring me in, because right now the titles we were seeing feel very straightforward, very matter of fact. So historic gold ingot ID'd. What's the value of the gold, for example? Like, try to find different ways to bring this back around so the layman can appreciate it. Like, this gold was found here, and guess what? If you were to sell this right now, it would be worth like $1 million. I think just those types of facts, tying it into like stuff everyday people would be really excited to learn about, would help a lot.
Yeah, and I'm right with you. Like where success leaves clues, and so how have maybe different channels become more edutainment, maybe evolved, creating interest in this. I also think it's fascinating. I wonder what about the shorts here, potentially. This quartz one. What was interesting about this? You just have music playing. This is the dimensions of it, and he's definitely doing some 3D imaging, 3D modeling of these, and his original music, probably royalty-free music of some kind, kinda some folk music playing.
I think this would be great with a voiceover. Like, did you
Yeah.
know you could find this in this region? And it takes these types of tools to dig it up because it's the hardest rock in the world. Like, just start throwing really random facts about this mineral at people. I think with shorts, that's going to really get those shorts viewer to stop scrolling for a second, even if they're not interested in this topic, because you're just throwing
Mm.
kind of cool facts at them.
I think your idea of kind of a Ripley's Believe It or Not, an opening of a voiceover on shorts of, "Did you know
Yep.
that these rocks were from the dinosaur time?" And you show dinosaurs in there maybe. These, that and you even what's interesting is you probably could tap into there's a lot of rock culture. Rocks have healing properties. I may be this is we're talking to a geologist here, so I could be very wrong, of course, but you have like the lava rock is like good for I've heard, don't they have a benefit? So maybe somebody can shout us out in the comments. You get those lava. And my wife has like one, and like, what is it like? Clear the room of Wi-Fi or something. I don't know. And so, yeah, what are maybe different benefits? And that's a great idea. And so, those are definitely some good tips regarding the channel here, and really cool. I think this is such a strong niche. It definitely ties into. I think if you also think about, and you're probably getting some search regarding this. You think about students, and I'm sure students would use a channel like this for a utility. Geology and geology is obviously huge. So this channel is for educational purpose. You must hire a professional geologist to determine applicable information related to property. And so, great channel though, and awesome consistency and way to use shorts. Have you started using shorts, Think Media Podcast? Let us know in the comment section below. We're also going to be taking some questions today. And the way we do it is you put 4 questions before and after your questioned, 4 question marks, so that we really can see that standing out as a question. But let's dive into the second channel here. We've got Circle H Scuba Education, Equipment, Experiences, Environment. We have 300 subscribers. Over here on our stats, we've been having a blow up, 449% growing. This is vidIQ showing us our stats, 147% subscribers, 190 new subscribers, 46 uploads.
Wow.
And it's my hunch, Dan,
Hmm.
that that is because of shorts.
Look at
Uh,
that.
it would seem that, let's see, a day ago, 8 days ago, 2 weeks ago, pretty consistent with the longs, but actually total longs started uploading 2 months ago. And this might be an absolutely brand new channel. So this channel joined October 2022. So we're just getting started. Love the momentum we're seeing here. And so then definitely shorts being the key to get to that 46 uploads. And I think, again, what are the takeaways for you watching this today for your channel? Don't ignore shorts for the chance to trigger channel growth and be more consistent, get more uploads. But Dan, what are some of your thoughts?
This is really, really cool stuff. Like, this is the kind of thing I like to see with channels. You have access to something that not a lot of people have access to. And so you get to show perspectives and show things that just people don't get to see a lot, which creates a very high barrier to entry. It's hard to replicate this content. It's hard to get it anywhere else. And so you're playing to your strengths in a big way. As you're looking through this video, like the shots are incredible. They're using a lot of B-roll. You can tell this is just, from soup to nuts, just a really, really, really cool channel that has like a ton of potential.
Yeah, very cool. Uh, very crispy footage, cool branding.
Mhm.
Way to do your logo sting. If you're gonna have kind of an intro or a logo, about a second and a half is the
Yeah.
recommended length, and so that's really great. Way to get straight into the content here. And some good opportunity for affiliate marketing, tapping into anybody who does want to do some underwater video and photos. Off the top of my head, one video idea that comes to mind is always thinking about a little bit of broad appeal. Scuba divers are always going to be a little bit um, more niche because you've already maybe considered yourself that or you're aspiring to be that. what I actually, rather than thinking about scuba divers, I wonder if you tapped into travel snorkelers. And because a lot of people, it'd be very common, would be like, I'm about to go on vacation.
Yeah.
In fact, that's when everybody buys a GoPro.
Yep.
Like, let me know. There's got to be at least one person here live or on the replay. You were going to go on vacation and you bought a GoPro because of it. And then you also maybe never used it. But like, that is the most common thing. You're like, dude, I need a drone. I need a GoPro because I'm finally going on vacation. Then you go, you use it like one time. You're afraid you're going to crash your drone. You find out it's illegal there. You're Nolan Molt and you take a Think Media GoPro on your vacation to Mexico and lose it. True story. And so we never saw that footage. It probably would have been great. And so it's too funny. And hey, check this out. Circle H Scuba has done $99 in Amazon affiliates since December already. Brand new channel. Started in October 2022. It's 2023 now. Since December. So what would that be? December, January, February. In 3 months, brand new channel, 300 subscribers, $100 in Amazon affiliates. Friend, the creator economy is alive and well, but of course you got to be making the right videos, and Circle H Scuba is a Video Ranking Academy student, so great job with that. We of course go a lot deeper in that kind of stuff inside of the academy, but really cool. And this is not a pre-recorded video, Nathan. We are here live doing some reviews of our VRA students, but anyways, I need to actually look at the comments and see if anyone actually lost their GoPro. But let's get back to the channel. Any other thoughts, Dan? How do you feel about these thumbnails?
I think the thumbnails are a good start. There's not like a ton of elements in a lot of these, but they could be, I think, a little bit better. One thing I don't think you need is your logo in the thumbnail. It's a nice logo, but it's going to be underneath your video on a lot of home pages and search pages and things like that. So it's just another thing in your thumbnail, kind of cluttering it up. I think one of the thumbnails that's really standing out to me is this one in the middle, the best settings for the GoPro there, and it's underwater. So that I like. It's just nice and simple, nice and clean. But yeah, some of these are just a little more busy than others. I'd try to like tone that down a little bit.
Yeah, and I think you do have a massive opportunity with YouTube Shorts. I also would think one thought here, and we just did a YouTube Shorts masterclass, and definitely check that out if you didn't catch it. I believe you did. Being on camera and teaching is great, but there's just so much power in a vertical video format. One of the videos we did here recently at Think Media was on the best books for YouTube. And so keeping it's, voiceover and keeping the interest of the on-screen content at a 10/10 and visually entertaining, I think is just something that, especially in shorts. And so I had a video where I talked about the best books that every YouTube creator should read. And it was me like holding them up. And then there's this video where it's just, it started off with the mystery of the books, and then it's just the B-roll of the books, and they're the heroes. It's the visual, like you're able to look at the cover, read the cover. And this one's doing a lot better. And so all that to say is that kind of like the Rock channel, voiceover, some good music, maybe some text reinforcing, maybe some quick edits to hold that viewer retention. And I think you also have a series you could do on shorts that's kind of a believe it or not, like just that wow and sensational, like, did you know that octopus, and that you could get good, like big reach from some of those shorts that could bring exposure to the channel. And then there's always got to be a little bit of caution with that, meaning you start, maybe if you want to be an education channel for scuba divers and tapping into some people traveling and wanting to snorkel and do that. If you attract a lot of people, I mean, Dan, I'm curious about that. The specific question for you as an expert is, with the opportunity in shorts to be more broad, to kind of go talk about almost anything. I looked at Alex Hormozy recently, who's a business coach, basically, and his most viewed short is him talking about how he used to spend to buy 500 transactions at Chipotle in a year. And so we talk about niching down, but he goes, when I was single, I ate at Chipotle over 500 times in 1 year. And that's his by far most viewed short. What's your thought on us saying niche down, be focused, but especially in vertical video, the fact that like it seems you start going more broad appeal, lifestyle, something funny, that you can get a lot of reach, but is it the right reach?
Yeah, I think there's a fine line there, because now would you say that channel should focus on Chipotle content? I don't think so. It feels very personality driven. And if that's what you want to be, and a lot of creators do want this, they want to be personality driven channels, then sharing more of yourself, shorts is probably a really great place to do that. One conundrum we see from, just a question we're constantly getting: how do I get the people to come from my shorts to my longs? And if they're just two totally different worlds, that's really hard to do. So I think it's about striking a balance between things you would do in your long form videos and just trying to build a bridge between that and doing something somewhat similar, but maybe a little more off the wall on your shorts. I think you can get away with that in shorts. One opportunity right now is music as well. Music channels struggle to like break through if they're writing original songs. No one's searching for those. But shorts is just going to put it in front of somebody and the song is going to start playing and people get to decide in an instant, oh, this sounds pretty good. I kind of like this, so the opportunity is there for so many people. I still would encourage people to do something that like arguably is somewhat similar, or at least true to your personality throughout your entire channel, so it all makes sense.
Great advice there, Dan. We are going through some tips that are going to help you grow your channel. If you have a question, put 4 question marks before and after the question. We're going to be looking at a few channels from our Video Ranking Academy community. We're not taking any new channel reviews today, but we have a couple more channels to get through. And so hit like if you've been already getting value. And in just a second, we're going to be looking at the stay-at-home bearded chef. But today's video is brought to you by vidIQ. And if you haven't already grabbed a 30-day trial on vidIQ's paid plan, you could get it for just $1 at vidiq.com/think. A little bit later, Dan's going to be taking us through how we can write better titles, one of the biggest keys to getting more clicks and really actually clarifying your video ideas themselves, which will lead to better topics, better titles overall. But vidIQ's got some really cool tools. So check out the link in the description for that. And we'll be circling back on that in a little bit. But Dan, let's check out the next channel here, which is the stay-at-home bearded chef. And so joined back in 2021, but has only been uploading longs for a month ago. And then 2 weeks ago, we have 2 videos. We do have some shorts coming out here. And our stats have yet to populate because we're still in the very early days of the channel, but almost 4,000 views. And so we're super early stage. I think this is a big opportunity for if someone's just starting, if they haven't started yet, and how they could maybe build some momentum. What are your thoughts for stay-at-home bearded chef?
Yeah, welcome to YouTube, first of all. I think this is a fun idea. I already like the personality, just the name kind of like already kind of gives you an idea. And I love that. I think for this channel, one thing I was noticing with the titles and thumbnails is going to be topics. When you were deciding what kind of content to make, it really is important to think about the audience you're making it for. So, for example, Utah resident stay-at-home cooks side hustle 2023. So it kind of feels like there's a lot going on in that title, right? Like Utah resident stay-at-home cooks. So are we targeting specifically people from Utah who cook and want to do it as a side hustle? Like, because it just feels like that's like kind of niched a lot based on the way I'm perceiving the title. It's probably not like that, but be thinking about it from a more broad perspective. Like if you are a cook, what kind of side hustles are there for you? And you would probably have the answer to that as the creator behind this channel. So now you're thinking about different titles that can more cater to that broader audience, because why do I have to live in Utah for it? I could probably do this in all kinds of locales. So, or maybe there's a specific reason. Maybe Utah has some kind of scene that I don't understand, but I still don't think that would be like the title. I think it'd be just kind of like hey, like I found this thing and it happens to be in my local area. Maybe your area has something similar to it. So I would try to like open that up to a broader audience.
Let's jump in for a little video review here.
Very loud. There we go.
Hey, what is up, guys? This is Chris with the Stay-at-Home Bearded Chef, bringing you today some awesome news. Some of you may know about it, but from 2021, a lot of people, I believe, don't know about it, especially stay-at-home chefs like you and me, or wanting to be one. Anyway, it's called the Micro Enterprise Home Kitchen Act.
All right. So a couple thoughts here on the opening of the video that a lot of us can learn from, and forgive me for hitting you with the 1010 volume, especially blowing out Dan's headphones. And sorry for anybody else listening on headphones. So we want to really rework the beginning of this video. An opportunity that we can all learn from is, first, we want to get a strong topic that's value-based to the user, then really figure out what that is. So you're saying there's a new act in Utah. Even this topic itself may not be at the top of the list of a video that's going to truly get reach or help you reach the goal. But if we were to rework this, a couple, I would argue, mistakes. One, I think that starting with this branding, we took 5 seconds before any value or before being hooked in any way by what the topic was, why I should watch, why I should be interested. And so typically you should start right up front on camera and say, like, are you looking to, and if this is an act that helps, you want to double your income as a home chef, or you want to figure out how to make more money, you want to start a stay-at-home cook side hustle job. In this video, I'm going to be sharing a brand new act that's going to change, and so starting on camera, starting with questions that are a question that creates curiosity or a tease of what's coming or a reason to watch till the end. Then the second thing is, even after that first 5 seconds, you go straight again to it's about you. It's like what your channel is about. Let's watch.
Hey, what is up, guys? This is Chris with the Stay-at-Home Bearded Chef, bringing you today some awesome news. Some of you may know about it, but from 2021, a lot of people, I believe, don't know about it.
So again, I would encourage you, Chris, that actually, with love, nobody cares about you yet. And that's the advice we need you to hear. Like, hey, we love you. Like, and eventually they might, but what they care about is the problem they want to solve. They care about. So if you're like, hey, it's Chris, like a lot of, I think it's our opinion that in 2023, you can almost trim this out completely, or you put it a lot further in the video. So get straight to the point, like get right into it in regards to, you could say, you open with, hey, do you want to learn how to make more money cooking as a side hustle? In this video, I'm going to be talking about a brand new act in Utah. If you live there, which again, that's a little niche. If we could go a little bit broader, maybe. But I'm going to actually be breaking down like the 3 ways to apply for this, and then how this past month I was actually able to like double my bookings from using a cool new piece of software. Let's get into tip number 1. Boom. And you could add value right up front. And then maybe even between tip 1 and tip 2, if at all, you could actually introduce yourself later or never. Like, that's actually my 2023 opinion, that if someone's interested in you, they will follow, they'll find out. You can put on screen your name and your social media logos, but just get straight to the value, and the clip, meaning the pace, meaning the gate, weird words, meaning the chop, meaning the pace of the editing is just like the title hook me, the thumbnail hook me. Now I'm watching the beginning and I want to keep watching. Now you're already delivering value and I can't click away. And anytime we just kind of go into like marketing or promotion mode, it's just sort of a moment to where, yes, people could care and it's not the end of the world, but there's just like, there's no reason necessarily to put that in. Just keep the conversation going. And if you do, think about how you could do it shortly. It'd be like at the beginning of this video, I was like, hey, we're going to do some YouTube training. You're going to learn some tips. We're going to do a title training later. And so let's dive into the first channel. Welcome, Dan. Not a lot. And this is my style. I know some people are a little bit more relational or whatnot, but not a lot of conversation or anything. Just trying to get right to the value. And then maybe later you get into things. And if I introduce myself, I might say, but if you're new to the channel, my name's Sean Cannell, rhymes with YouTube channel. I help people grow their influence on YouTube, but let's get right into it. And so just thinking about how to get right into it could really help, I believe, this video. And then then the punchline is, about the time you introduce the concept, we're like 30 or 40 seconds in. We're trying to get to that value in like second 1 through 4, not second 40. And then thinking about how you are articulating and pitching whatever this is in a very simple way. But again, respect, as Dan said, welcome to YouTube. We're so early. And so I hope that this actually kind of feedback is really helpful for just tweaking your next few uploads. Dan, any other things you want to hit here as we're looking at the channel?
Just keep trying to find incremental ways to improve as you go. One thing I'm noticing is just with the quality of the content itself. Like, if your camera could be eye level, I think that would help a lot. Just kind of, the perspective right now is kind of strange. We're always just kind of like like a toy on your shelf, you know, where you're always just kind of going to look down at us. So see about getting your camera a little more eye level. Just these are little nitpicks I'm coming up with right now just to help you when you're thinking about ways to improve your quality, like just to kind of give you some stepping stones. This is not all stuff you need to worry about overnight. You have to get gear, you got to get lights, you got to do all this stuff. But yeah, I'd be thinking about that just off the top of my head. But for someone who's made 2 long form videos and just a handful of shorts, I'm already really impressed with your on camera presence. Like overall, your energy. You feel very warm and inviting, and I want to know more. Just what we're seeing here, it looks like, you know, you're holding up a giant pepper. So like, I'm already getting in the mood for like, well, okay, what are you going to make with this? You know, so there's already a lot of things going on that are right. So I think this is a really strong start for someone new to YouTube.
And that's a great point you bring up, Dan. My guess here is this is perhaps a webcam. So the laptop is on the table. So the hack could be, if that's all you have, is get some boxes and even get the webcam at a vantage point, more eye level, as you mentioned, and thinking about that shot composition. It also seems like maybe from the other that it's a smartphone of some kind. Even that was kind of interesting. You could, it looks like you press record and then you step back. Even just using your Droid or Android or iPhone, you can hit record, walk over, and then just slide the front of the video to have the start point. And also editing in YouTube Shorts, you could do the same. But if it is a smartphone, your biggest bang for your buck would be to either get your laptop a little bit higher, stack it up on some boxes. You could use the same free trick for doing that with your smartphone. But everybody on here should invest, if you're doing mobile creation, in some kind of a tripod for your phone. And probably one of the best ways to do it, I might avoid these ones that get a little top heavy. They have the little legs at the bottom. And what you'd probably want is you want a tripod with a smartphone mount. And you want a proper tripod. It does not have to break the bank, or just maybe you already have one and you get a smartphone mount. You do want to make sure that it goes vertical because, of course, you're doing shorts and longs. But if you got something like this, Amazon Basics, $15, the one other thing to consider is that how tall are you? And so a mistake people make is they just go, oh, the tripod looks good. And you have no idea actually, you know, you're like, I'm sure it goes tall enough. And then you realize 50 inches is that would be like shooting at my chest. And so I need like 70 to 75 or 80, which you could put this on a countertop, but some immediate investments, because most of us could probably swing, you know, 25, 40 bucks for a tripod, and then a decent smartphone mount that ends up getting shot composition great using our smartphone. And one other thing I would recommend is you've got a wireless mic. This is one of our favorite ones. We're going on budget hacks today. This one right here has there's a lightning port version and a USB-C version, and we're at $27. There's a $2 coupon on it. You can see we've purchased this 2 times. This guy's kind of cool. You're actually literally, the advertisement's a cook kind of food example with a phone on the left side of the screen. You can see it, right? That phone tripod and the mount there, and then clip it onto your shirt. Clearly that was get a stock photo and then just Photoshop the little thing there sitting there. It's too funny. But we can vouch for this. Omar El Takori on the team loves this mic. And there is one for iPhone, iOS, and then there is a USB-C version of this as well. And so for definitely under $100, you may even go softbox lighting, and that could take your current camera and make it pop a lot more. But, you know, for 25 here, tripod, maybe 25, that's 50 or 60 bucks. You could probably get a softbox lighting kit. You can for under 50, and boom, $100. And it's going to change everything. $100. You're going to take your smartphone video production and take it to a whole nother level. And so a couple tips there. Hit like if you've been getting value, and we're going to get into some of your questions that have been coming in. And in just a bit, we're going to be going through a title training. So definitely make sure to watch until the end today. But let's start off here with, how can I use shorts with my book review type video? It takes time for me to listen to the audiobook. Dan?
So I think if you're doing book reviews, and you want to do shorts, I would love to see it like this. You probably have a long form video planned, right? It takes you time to listen, as you said, but you can probably get a good feeling about the book and what your thoughts are on it before you finish it, right? So if you already start to form that opinion and you want to get a short out, what I would do is if it's an audiobook, take your phone, hold it up to the camera as part of the short, right? And you're like, this is the best book that you can listen to right now for blank, whatever the book is about, whatever the value of that book is. Think about the audience. What is this book going to do for them? That's what a review is all about. So I think you could do a very quick synopsis of this book in just a few seconds and then say, stay tuned. I'm going to be doing a full review coming up soon. So that's almost the call to action, the subtle call to action to subscribe after watching, because now you have like a longer review to look forward to.
Really good. Sophia, what is the best time in the US when it comes to finance to upload shorts? So the niche is finance. Best time of day to upload shorts. Dan, any opinions on this?
Whatever time works best for your schedule, honestly. I mean, you're going to post shorts and YouTube is going to kind of sit on those for a bit. I'm sure you've seen this where they do nothing, and then suddenly everything. Suddenly you get all the views all at once, and then they do nothing again for a bit. So any time that works best for you, I would say I like to post mine in the morning, US, time zones. But I've had some that I feel like this is a little bit more time sensitive. I kind of want it out now, 6 o'clock at night, post it online. Nothing happens for the first couple hours. Then it kind of blows up a little bit. And then it continues to kind of ebb and flow depending on the short and how well it's doing. So I think time to post, yes, for your regular viewers, whenever they're on is great. But ultimately what works best for like your schedule, it's not going to hurt, I don't think.
Yeah, and you can always use schedule upload. The workflow of that is kind of janky at times if you're mobile versus desktop, and we've been talking about that at Think Media, but just doing your best. And so we'll do a lot of schedule upload on videos. We also don't hesitate to post even a couple shorts a day. So people say, I think I would have, here's our advice. You do want to avoid like any magic numbers. Number one, even if there is some magic number, it probably will only be true for a couple weeks or a month. So you don't want to build a whole strategy around it. It's just kind of a constant testing and experimenting. So we've been learning that sometimes experimenting with uploading in the afternoon. Dave Bay, who's I'm doing some coaching with on a one-on-one level, was saying that he would upload a short in the morning, he would get 18 views and stop. So he deleted it, uploaded it in the afternoon, and would get 2,200. So that's an interesting thing. But I want to warn you, like, that might work for you for a while too, but that in and of itself is just maybe a way the algorithm's working right now, but it may not work in the future. One other thought is that ultimately, and this comes from YouTube's mouth themselves, when time of upload doesn't matter, because if we're doing YouTube properly, and of course we teach this at VRA, when you upload, we have videos 10 years that were posted 10 years ago that still get views today. So does it matter what time that video was uploaded? It's still getting views. We have shorts that were posted 2 years ago that are still getting views today. So does the time of day matter when it gets uploaded? So rather than even thinking about like, oh, time of day and a boost of views, if you're getting, people are not swiping away, the topic is broad enough, or at least broad enough in a niche, and average view duration, average percentage viewed is 80 plus, 90 plus, well, then really the short is much more about how many views it's going to get over the next 30 days, 60 days, or even beyond, rather than the day. Of course, maybe some early momentum could lead you to those metrics sooner or cause it. But even one of our videos that Nolan Molt did that is at 8.5 million views took 30 days before it even actually really started to get views. And so again, the YouTube algorithm is going to be researching or rather studying and analyzing a video. And as it quote unquote finds an audience or finds viewers that it's satisfying and measuring the average percentage viewed and all that kind of stuff, then ultimately over time that video can perform pretty well. And this short is at 8.5 million views right now. It had 2 runs of straight up virality and then it kind of plateaued, and now it's just slow and steady, but it actually is still getting views to this day. So rather than thinking about the time of upload, think about the quality of the upload, because if you do it well, then ultimately it's going to keep performing well beyond the first 24 hours. Buff Bass Fishing Channel, I imagine, asks, I have a question. Would you recommend niching down? Instead of doing fishing content on my channel, should I target more specific audience, such as only bass fishermen, in order to grow faster? Dan?
I wish I knew more about fishing, but I do feel like just knowing that there's such a thing as bass fishing boats, for example. Can you catch other fish with them? You would know the answer to that. I don't, but it does sound like bass fishing itself, excuse me, is a whole culture. So in this case, yeah, I would test it. And there's no harm if you have some ideas. It sounds like you might do it for like a month. And if you don't like the results, or if you miss doing the other videos you were doing, there's no harm in pivoting back to what you were doing before, because I still feel like niching out eventually to other types of fishing is like the logical step here. But if you feel like, oh, there's like a whole community of bass fishers I could really target with my content, then hey, that's great. Like that could be a really, really great place to start. You can always niche out later. I wish I knew more about fishing, because I would have a more definitive answer. But yeah, my very limited knowledge tells me there's no harm in testing.
You know, a couple of things that I think are interesting here too. It feels to me like you already are niched to bass, as in the fact that it's in the title. I don't think that would be hurting you. I think that fishing is a clear enough niche, in my personal opinion. I also like, it's kind of just a unique thing I've never seen before, but I love that you have channel values here. Listen to these channel values, Think Media Podcast: create community, live passionately, stay positive, love others and yourself, be yourself, spread joy, laughter, inspiration, and motivation, help others, stay healthy, love life, and live life to the fullest, and do what you love. Also a disclaimer for affiliate links, which is cool. And so I think that that's just kind of a cool way of it. I mean, we're just at this moment, it's my first time seeing your channel and connecting with you, and already that build such a deeper bridge of connection by you saying your channel values. Very simple. Not a lot of people probably even make it to the about page, but that was pretty cool. We a lot of times recommend having everyone says niche down. I think you should have a focus, but I think your channel can be too niched, but at times your videos can't necessarily be too niched, because there's not a lot of risk in experimenting with a video. A certain type of video, or let's call it a series, a 10 or 20 or 30 videos, can ultimately, they'd be on brand. Nobody would be offended if you're talking about fishing or you're talking about things, but they might be like, oh, that's not my style. So some of your subscribers may not click on it, but it very well could lead to a lot of opportunity. So I would think a little bit differently, rather than like, should I change the niche of my channel or niche my channel more? I think what it's about is experimenting with specific videos or specific topics that are focused to fishing in general, but it actually might open up a new opportunity where maybe if things got so crazy in doing a test, as maybe the summary of the tip, don't be afraid to experiment. Don't be afraid to experiment with a video or 5 to 10 videos or a series. The worst that could happen is you're like, that didn't go very well, so that's not the direction I'm going. But if you don't experiment, you may never basically do the R&D, the research and development that could help you evolve and innovate your channel. And so it's a great question, but I think your opportunity is to, you got so much great stuff happening here. Congrats on almost 5,000 subscribers. Congrats on, building out some monetization with affiliate links and having some merch. And it looks like you're pumping out some great content. And so I think as you continue to make small tweaks, this is going to continue to go really well. And let's go to the next question, and hit like if you're getting value. We do Christian-based online marriage counseling specifically for marriages that are recovering from infidelity. Is that too niche? Yes. I think that that it is niche enough to do Christian-based online marriage coaching, or to do just like, because back to this so ties into the last question. That could be a whole series. That might be one of your most popular series. Videos on that topic might be some of the most profound and impactful videos, but you don't have to make the channel that niche.
Right.
Simply those who, from a Christian perspective, want to work on their marriage or heal their marriage or strengthen their marriage. And so we teach understanding your audience's problems and ambitions. So it's not just the problems of infidelity, or not just the problems of that. That's a big, challenge to help someone through, but also think about the whole, we'd call it viewer journey. What about also the things past that? 5 love languages, taking things to another level, the dynamic of having a kid, 2 kids. So I think you can play with so many topics inside of the vision. And saying that, it's because you want, and Resurrecting Hope is a really good channel name. It's because you want to have you don't want to be too niched so that you don't limit your ability to grow in a 5 to 10 year window. If we want to build a legacy and build a brand, and we're too niche today, and our channel even name is too niched, where does this thing go 5 years from now? But imagine meeting somebody where you're like literally resurrecting hope. I searched because we had infidelity in our marriage. I met them on the channel, but now it's 10 years later. And it wasn't just that, but I was able to eventually go to their marriage retreat. I learned about how to not just get my marriage out of a very negative thing, but to get into ever increasing levels of positivity and growing and new dimensions of understanding and respecting each other and encouraging each other and strengthening our marriage and the seasons of life. And so, yes, I would say that that your channel could have lots of inroads into your world with the different topics. But in the meantime, you still may do your next 100 videos all on recovering from infidelity, just knowing that you could pivot beyond that or build beyond that over time. Next question is, don't a lot of people cut a lot of their long videos into 2 to 3 shorts? Dan, thoughts on chopping down your long videos?
I think a lot of people do that. And I think there are people who do it really well and people who make one very, very crucial mistake, and that is context. When you take a long form piece of content and you forget about the people who were not there to watch the long form video, you end up giving somebody something that doesn't make any sense to them, right? You put this in shorts, they've never seen your content before, and there's an expectation that, well, they'll watch the long form video. This will make sense when they watch the long form video. So I would just urge you to do that, but be very careful. And one thing I've seen that works really well is take the clip that you want as your short, and if you're lacking the context in the original edit, give yourself an opportunity to sit down, do a quick VO for the shorts viewer. Like, I was playing this game and this crazy thing happened. You'll never believe it. Then let the clip roll as it was. So just provide that context for somebody who has never seen you before, because shorts is all about reaching a new audience. A whole new audience of people exist on YouTube now who just like watching mobile vertical content that's really, really short and bingeable. So, cater to them.
Really strong. If you're getting value, hit like. We're going to do another channel review in just a second, and we have a title training coming up, but I want to welcome you to the Think Media podcast channel. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Let me know, how long have you been a part of this community? How long have you been following Think Media, the podcast? Podcast is about 2 years old. We do extra live streams like this on the channel, but I'm super excited for this next question. I think this is going to help you make more money. And so Architectural Sheet Metal 101 says, what type of review video converts the best into affiliate sales? The answer is the versus video. Let me illustrate. So if you go to the Think Media channel, you go to the search the channel feature and you just type in VS versus, you're going to see that we do this all the time. Full frame versus crop sensor. What is the best light for lighting YouTube videos under $200? And we have the Godox SL60W versus the GVM 80 watt. You've also got best streaming microphone, Shure versus Deity versus Samson. And the reason this is the best strategy for converting affiliate sales is when somebody is searching for the comparison of two products, they are the closest to the moment of actually making a purchase because they've narrowed it down. They're like, okay, am I going to get the Sony ZV-1 or the Canon M50? And then based on your review, adding value, letting them know the pros and cons of each, they very well could make their decision on that video and then educating them about your affiliate links at that point in time. To illustrate this, in just every niche this would be relevant to, I've been looking at PEMF mats, pulse electric magnetic field inflared blankets. The red light masks, have you seen? My wife, Sonia, has one of these. They wear little Darth Vader masks like the people in the thumbnails here. It's scary. Every night I'm terrified, as you can see from these super scary masks. But you could take a brand like Higher Dose. So someone's like, I want to buy a PEMF mat, Higher Dose versus, and they're like, I've narrowed it down to the Higher Dose versus the MyHigh. So imagine you have done your research. You're trying to pick up a sauna blanket, and you're down to this particular video. I think what's fascinating here is this creator only has 646 subscribers, but there's 871 views on this video, proving to us its search viability because someone's looking for something very specific. Which of these two products should I go after? Interestingly enough, too, Lazia should actually be a VRA member because she's missing out on money. Like she doesn't even have her affiliate links. I guess she says non-affiliated opinion, which is great, which I think you should share your unbiased opinion or your, transparent opinion, but you should also have the links because you can say, listen, do you want this one or that one? Link to both in the description down below. And so if I'm at this moment where I'm trying to talk to somebody, and again, our goal here in doing affiliate marketing is ethically serving people, recommending products we know, love, and use and have tested ourselves or have researched ourselves that we would willingly recommend to friends and family. My friend Rick called me the other day because I've been researching PEMF mats. I probably put 30 hours into it. So he's like, I don't want to take 30 hours. Sean, can you give me a 3-minute explanation of all the research you've done? And so just like I would tell Rick my honest answer, I'm like, bro, I'd probably get these ones up based on all my research. This is the one I'd go after. And so in summary, the type of video that converts best into affiliate sales is a comparison video because the person is at the point of purchase. And again, you're just telling them the fully transparent truth. Where this gets bad is if you're recommending the one that has the better affiliate commission, well, then you're kind of sacrificing your integrity because you might even recommend at times. I saw a guy that I bought red light panels from who recommended 10 and some of them did not have affiliate programs. So I want to encourage you too. Our ethic here in the Think Media world is like, we want to tell you what the best product is. Hopefully there's an affiliate program, but if we're like, yeah, and actually this one doesn't even have one, but like truly this is the best. Remember that over the long haul, you building your brand, you building trust, you building a legacy matters most because there's going to be plenty of opportunities where, again, probably both of these products have an affiliate. And you're like, listen, this is the one I'd go with because I like the features better. Maybe I felt better. Links in the description down below. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. And so the versus strategy is the way to go when it comes to that. Today's video is brought to you by vidIQ. By the way, that's our affiliate link and our sponsor for the video. But you could get a 30-day trial on vidIQ's paid plan for just $1 at vidiq.com/think. This is one of those products that we know, love, and use, and I've been using since the beginning. I mean, I want to say I downloaded vidIQ's free extension, vidIQ Vision, and got a free account 10 years ago. And ever since then, they've continued to add new features. And this is a tool that we regularly reference for making better data-driven decisions. But what's really cool is now there's some cool AI features. They have an interface and an AI YouTube coach that'll help you improve these different details in terms of your YouTube channel. So if you haven't grabbed a $1 trial for 30 days of one of their paid plans, that's how you can unlock some of these features. And I asked Dan to do to show us how we could write better YouTube titles using this. And so Dan, take us into some cool things that we could do to ultimately make better videos, get more clicks, get more views, and break it down.
Titles are just so important. And we're at a time now where I think a lot of people still kind of hold on to this really old advice where, your titles need to be really, really searchable. But these days, like emotion really wins the click through your title and your thumbnail. I've always said these two things should work together, but we are treating them separate right now because we are going to be looking at the AI title recommendation tool as just one of the things. Now, what's cool about this is you can use it in 2 different ways. Your channels are probably niched into some kind of area, right? Some kind of industry. So knowing that, you can use this to find video ideas because when it generates titles, it's going to come up with things you probably weren't thinking of. And you can use it to help understand how to make a title that you're thinking of, make it a little more interesting. So I have an example pulled up on screen right now. It says how to scuba dive. We saw a scuba diving channel earlier, so I decided to plop that in there. And this is going to give us a few different things. So when you hit get title ideas, it's going to take a second to think about it. And then you can keep hitting get recommendations if none of these are jumping out to you. But it's going this direction. Unveiling the secrets to becoming a scuba diving pro. Unlock the secret to successful scuba diving. Unbelievable tips to help you master scuba diving. Unbelievable tips to successful scuba diving. Your first dive will blow your mind. I think this is a bit long, but okay, interesting. Unlock the secrets of scuba diving. Just, it's really on this unlock, unveil, unbelievable. It's designed to at least remind you, if you don't like any of these words, change them out, but at least remind you that, hey, like put some emotion behind this. Yeah, it's scuba diving tips, but what's the value of them? Well, you probably haven't heard these before. These are literally unbelievable. And you can just keep generating new ideas and trying to hone this in. But like sometimes unbelievable, discover how to scuba dive without breaking the rules. This is kind of an interesting thought. Like I might not use this title verbatim, but now I'm thinking about what are the rules I could break while scuba diving. So like things not to do scuba diving, if I could spell. So now I'm starting to brainstorm videos. Diving disaster. Don't do these things underwater. What a fantastic title. And I can even start to imagine a thumbnail where you have an angry fish, and you're just you're in your scuba mask and you're shocked or you're trying to swim away. Like, don't do these things. Like maybe it's you trying to poke something with a stick. There's so many different things coming to my imagination. So this is a great tool for not only getting a really solid title, but brainstorming and getting your mind into a different place. Because when you go on YouTube right now and you look at the top titles on your home feed, are you going to see a video as boring as how to scuba dive? Or are you going to see something a bit more emotional? And I haven't even looked at this today, so I probably shouldn't pull this up as an example. But here's one example from Colin Smear. Is YouTube about to get worse? And the CEO, I quit. Is YouTube about to get worse? How searchable is that? I'd say like 3 out of 10. But this is an emotional title. They posted this just a few hours ago. Already has a couple thousand views on one of their newer channels too. So that's what they're doing here. They are targeting an emotion. They know their audience very well. It's people who take a lot of time and spend a lot of time getting YouTube news and YouTube stories. So everyone knows the CEO of YouTube is moving on, and now they're like, what's going to happen? And they're poking that's the poking the bear with the drama there. So that's the point I'm trying to get across.
That's a powerful tip on emotion and triggering emotion, thinking about how you can make your titles more emotional. And again, that's just one of the many tools. And so if you want to try that all out, click the link in the description or check it out at vidIQ.com/think for a 30-day trial of vidIQ's paid plan for just $1. Our next channel is Loving Tech Life. And I'm super pumped that I have Dan here because there is a leaning towards gaming. In this case, it's gaming tech. And let's look at a few things here. It looks like we've been uploading just for the last 8 months, even though the channel was created a little while ago. So that's cool. We are at a place of 68,000 views, some breakout viewership. It's always so cool. We say go for green, and we have 1,295% growth, 2,176% growth in subscribers with only 6 uploads. So probably maybe some of those could have been a YouTube short. We've had a couple 4,000 view YouTube shorts happening. And then over here on videos, we've got, 4 days ago, 28,000 views, 24,000 views, and 81. So we had these really popped off. So it looks like, and then we have one of my favorite features on vidIQ. Once you get vidIQ Vision installed, is VPH. VPH stands for views per hour. And so we have an 11-day-old video that's getting 17 views per hour. This is the dream. And we always talk about this in Video Ranking Academy. You want to get views 24/7, 365 on your older videos. Here's one that's a month old that's getting 30 views per hour. So Dan, what are your thoughts on this channel?
So just as you were scrolling, I'm noticing like this new VR video you did completely blew up. PS2 VR is a thing. I think it was announced recently. I'm a No Man's Sky fan. I'm noticing in the thumbnail, in the background of that thumbnail was No Man's Sky, and they just released an update like yesterday that was for the PS2 VR. Like there's going to be PS2 VR support. Like, so like this is a really good time for you because there's new equipment coming out and there's new games and game updates coming out. What I will say with this channel is that they haven't quite picked a niche yet, even if they feel like they have, in my opinion, because we go from VR and then we go from connecting a controller to your phone. And I can see how those feel like they're in the same realm. It is gaming, it is gear, but VR channels are their own thing on YouTube, and they are a very thriving, vibrant space that is actually continuing to grow because VR headsets are becoming more accessible to the average consumer. So I think with this recent success you've had, it's time to come up with a strategy and see if you can double down on this content right here, on being either the person that covers everything there is to know about PS2 VR or VR headsets in general, comparing PS2 VR to the next Oculus device that comes out, or if Steam updates their headset or HTC or whatever it might be. Just try to put yourself in this VR space if you can, because as you can see, there is an opportunity here. One channel I like to follow in this space is called Thrill Seeker. They've been at it for a while. They test a lot of new and upcoming VR gear. They're reviewing a lot of things. Channels like this are more tech channels than they are gaming channels, but they do have a gaming focused audience. You are going to be giving your viewers a lot of value if you go out and review products. VR products are expensive. There's haptic suits and gloves and all these things but you get your hands on some of that stuff, you start giving reviews and versus videos and things like that, like you're going to be, really, really helping the people who are in the space who want to spend a little bit of their disposable income on this very expensive version of gaming, but want to do so logically because this technology is moving very quickly and there's a lot of different products out there. So I think you can make a whole channel around this one or two videos for you that have just completely popped off. And I hope that's your plan here.
And that's some brilliant advice from Dan, just to emphasize a point from what he said, and for all of us watching when we experience this moment. And I think you're at this moment. He mentioned you've recently hit kind of a bright spot. You've hit some momentum, and now double down and even adjust your focus related to that. I would just encourage you. Great job with the hustle over the last 8 months, working on your video production, working on all those details. Now you have a couple breakout videos. Really lean in. And Dan and I look at channels all the time. We've been doing this for so long. There's almost a feeling you get, and when you kind of you're like, oh, it's time to hustle. And so I would, there's sprints we do. I think for a sustainable pace, we don't want to burn out. We don't want to, we want to be there. Burnout's so common for content creators, but there's some times when it's time to really lean in. And I would just challenge you, you got some really cool stuff happening here based on applying Dan's advice and just thinking about how can I really ride this. I think you could experience some explosive growth as you double down. It's time to double down. Let's look at a couple questions here. And we've got, if you are using all the right hashtags and thumbnails, any other ways to get views? I do better with shorts versus long videos. Dan.
Because of the opportunity of the shorts right now, I'm not surprised to hear that, especially if you're a newer creator. And shorts are quicker to make, right? They're much, much shorter. So even a really complex short doesn't take as long to edit as a long form video. So they're faster to put out there, and shorts are distributed on YouTube a different way than long form videos. So when you're saying you're using hashtag, using thumbnails, you're looking for other ways to get views, I'm glad you're doing shorts, because that would be my first suggestion, is to continue doing shorts and treat that audience like you would any other viewer, because these are views that you might not have otherwise gotten with long form videos. As I said earlier, I believe there's an audience of people out there that don't watch long form as much as they watch shorts. So it's great that you have them in your community and you're catering to them.
Lori asks, kind of just dovetailing right off that prior question, in your opinion, Dan, if you're starting a brand new channel, would you start with shorts or longs?
I would certainly brainstorm a way I could do both. Like with my personal channel, I'm in a position right now where I'd rather just do shorts because it's faster. I have a lot of stuff going on. I like both because I like to create a content ecosystem. I want my channel to utilize live streams, community posts, long form videos, short form videos. I would say for you to start with whatever makes the most sense for you. How much free time do you have to be making YouTube videos in the first place? What are your ultimate goals? Does the content you make feel like it would fit with shorts, or are you really struggling? This video essay content does not fit into the short form space, and maybe that's okay. So there's a few things to think about without knowing what kind of channel you're going for. I don't want to say definitively one way or another.
Yeah. And I would say, Lori, and I know we have a lot of folks from our video ranking community here. I would recommend that a lot of new creators start with shorts for the reason that Dan mentioned, because they are easier to create. Creativity can work best within constraints. And we recently, here's a reason to do short form content. A couple reasons is: one, they are simple and easy to create. Two, they do get a lot of views right now. Three, you get exposure to new audience. Four, YouTube is promoting them. And five, it's still early. Shorts are 2 years old, but they're just adding monetization right now. There's some new analytics adding inside of the YouTube studio. And so there's a lot of benefits to shorts. But another reason is that depending on your business model and your goal, shorts could be the tip of the iceberg. When you're creating vertical video, you essentially have assets that could also be posted across multiple different platforms. We have a lot of entrepreneurs and people that want more leads, clients, and sales in our world. And so a huge opportunity is just creating vertical video in general, being thoughtful about learning best practices of platforms, but then realizing you can distribute them across multiple different platforms. And one of the case studies we share is Anton is a real estate agent who, just using his Samsung S21 and CapCut as his video editor, was able to start posting some shorts, even though he hadn't uploaded on his YouTube channel in 10 years. And he got 16,000 views in the last 28 days, 20 new subs. He did 28 uploads. He basically uploads a vertical video a day. And he really doesn't know what he's doing. So it's like, sometimes you got to just start messy. Done is better than perfect. Just, punch fear in the face and press record. But because he's also uploading these vertical videos daily around real estate investing and real estate, he's also been able to not just pull 2,000 views, 7,000 views. His strategy is one vertical video a day, but he's using these same assets also across multiple platforms. Now, if your business model is more entertainment, or it's more like YouTube is the focus, there may not be an ROI for you posting over on Facebook Reels and other places. But again, he's been able to find, as a busy professional, and maybe you're in school, or maybe you have a lot on your plate right now, a job or two, he's able to sustain this. And with one vertical video, it takes him less than 30 minutes to just, distribute that across platforms. And if you see here, this is the same video. Facebook Reels got 5,400 views. TikTok got 481. Instagram Reels got 469. And then YouTube Shorts got 1,500. Again, he just started messy with YouTube Shorts and vertical video, and he's figuring out as he goes. And so, Lori, I'm not sure if you're part of our Video Ranking Academy, but we just added our YouTube Shorts deep dive training. It's 3 hours. And it kind of, as you can see, it blends into these other platforms, which could seem like a distraction. Like, wait, is it about YouTube or is it about other platforms? But I heard Mr. B say recently too, he said, the reason to do a video podcast is like not even the podcast. It's the fact that the vertical clips in a 2023 world will get 100 times more reach and views than even the original piece of content, if you understand this strategy. And so I definitely recommend watching that. That's, again, a part of our bigger academy. But Dan, what is your thought on this vertical video revolution that is kind of happening? And are you a proponent of multi-platform? Is that part of your thing? Or are you fully focused on YouTube?
I'm more focused on YouTube, but I have been experimenting with taking my shorts, the ones that I feel like work on all the other platforms, right? They just feel general enough, and putting them on the other platforms. And I've been pleasantly surprised by getting, let's say I have a YouTube short with 50,000 views, getting 100,000 on TikTok. Or sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes it tanks on TikTok. It does great on YouTube. Sometimes Instagram Reels just completely pop off. So I am a proponent of that if that's something you want to spend your time doing. Personally, I don't like spending extra time uploading here, there, and everywhere. Like it's a thing I have to keep up with because YouTube has a nice scheduler. These other tools don't. So having to sit down and take the extra time to remember to schedule the content when I have so many other things I'm juggling, that does slow me down. But if you can do it, I am a supporter of that for sure. And I think that shorts right now, I can tell you, has made me a better creator. It's gotten me to be even more concise and tell a really nice, clean story as quickly as I can. It's made me appreciate the attention span of the viewer today. And I use those same strategies now in my long form videos. How can we talked about it much earlier in today's show. How can we get right into the content? And if you start making shorts and they start to take off and you experiment with those things, you're going to start to notice, wow, when I get right into the content in my shorts, people watch the whole way through, sometimes twice. I need to try this for my long form videos. I need people to click on the video off of some perceived value, and they need to understand I'm going to get that value when the video starts right away. So no splash screen for 20 seconds explaining who you are. All that stuff goes out the window. It's you clicked on a video about blank. It is indeed about blank.
Amazing. One final channel and then a question or two after this. Hit like if you've been getting value today. A lot of nuggets. And if you're just joining us live, let me know where you're watching from, and check out the replay because we dropped a lot of different nuggets. And if you're watching on the replay, drop hashtag replay fam in the comments. This channel is called Brick Built, and it's a team of brothers, Isaac and John, who've been building original Lego models and have been active in the AFOL community for over 10 years. The channel, they show creations along with tutorials, build logs, photography, presentation tips, and a lot more to help you with designing and presenting your own builds. And so we're seeing Lego builds here. And we have finally, as Dan drops some wisdom on us, 46 uploads. We're seeing a lot of go for green channels right now, a lot of
Yeah.
growth. And that's, and just to encourage you again, I always want you to celebrate. There's so much comparison that can happen where sometimes we can have a negative viewpoint, like, oh, my channel is not growing. I actually hear this a lot, Dan. Someone will literally say, my channel's not growing. And then I'll be like, besides it's growing 278%, besides it's growing, because we just like, if it didn't go viral like Mr. Beast, then I'm not growing. It's like, no, celebrate the growth, because if you keep compounding this, the opportunity is pretty massive. And so I would imagine, let's see, the builds, 2 days, 6 days, 9 days, 30, 4 weeks, 1 month, maybe 7 uploads or 6 uploads in the last 28 days. So out of the 46, that's a lot of shorts. And so that's cool. Genius use of Lego stud shooters, Lego Ice Planet micro output design. Pretty neat, because we're talking about just one thing with a zoomed in shot. And so Dan, what are some of your thoughts?
I love it. I think they're doing some fantastic work here. It just, something about that video reminded me when you said one thing. That did remind me, shorts right now are searchable. Shorts are showing up as results in search. And so I don't know about this channel, if they can try to like test out some shorts that are more searchable, maybe build something out of a popular TV show or movie or something like that. But I really love that they are going with that strategy of like, my short is just about one really, really quick thing. These tiny little builds add so much detail to a larger build. So if I'm a Lego fan and I'm scrolling through and this comes up, it's like, oh, that's cool. Like, I can make that in a few seconds, and I have this like big base that I'm building, and I could put those all over the place, you know? So there's, man, I really feel like they understand their audience. They understand like how to set up a good shot. I'm getting exactly what I need from this, no more, no less.
I think one of the things that I love what you said is, if you could do what we've branded as called trend surfing, and especially because you're doing custom builds, what I actually think would be amazing, because you've dialed in production, that's for sure. So your production, the wood table, the look, the depth of field, the shot looks beautiful, looks great. Your lighting looks good. So if you could do a short that started off with the final result first, you see a Harry Potter character, or you see something from Avengers or the most recent Ant-Man or something, and you grab that attention right up front, and then you reverse engineer the build. And especially the more, maybe, but I suppose if it was quite literally something that is just showing off an actual Lego branded build, but if it's also custom, just this culture would be like, whoa. And they're going to want to watch that. Like, okay, so you made an original Lord of the Rings looking. And my guess, Dan, is the viral potential of that is insane. Right short at the right time, based on the right trending movie, trending show, trending viral Reddit, comic, a book, or something that's happening in other niche YouTube channels, subcultures, because you're then tying it into Lord of the Rings meets Lego, and that could be a great opportunity for you. And I wanted to see, let's see, we've been pretty consistent here for a lot of years, and so that's awesome. What do you think about these thumbnails?
I love them. I think some I like more than others. I especially like the blue background with the one little simple build there. But even the ones that are zoomed out, it's kind of hard to tell what they are. I wouldn't necessarily say we should change anything, because scale is also impressive. You know, all that missing detail for me right now on that build you just clicked on, I kind of might want to click the video just to see like the more intricate parts of it. So I would say those thumbnails aren't jumping out to me as much, but still strategy is there. I think they're doing a really, really solid job. This is cool too.
I
Hidden
think what's interesting to
compartments.
me here is that this video is only 30 seconds. What's your opinion on that?
Oh,
Yeah, so this
yeah.
is just like a quick use showing off final build just practically.
There was a time where I was posting videos under a minute that were not YouTube Shorts, and they were doing exceptionally well. And then I learned that
Have you ever
when
wondered how
Shorts
build
first came out, YouTube admitted like, oh, we kind of broke YouTube with that, because YouTube suddenly realized, hey, people really like short videos. Whether it was a vertical video or not, it was promoting shorts. And then they said, we fixed that. And so I'm like, maybe that's why my sub 30 second, long form videos aren't doing super well anymore. So now I'm telling people, if they're making 30-second videos, you should probably just make it a short. But all that being said, I've still seen some videos under a minute perform well. I just think that the market for long form content, it's people who are sitting down to maybe turn something on, and they're maybe not in the mood to browse a lot. Imagine someone watching TV and eating dinner, and they want to watch YouTube. They click on your video because it looks cool, and they realize 30 seconds later they got to get their remote. Their hands are dirty because they're eating buffalo wings. Now they got to find the remote, and they got to get buffalo wing sauce all over the remote. Does this sound like something that I've been through? I will never tell. But I'm just saying, sometimes you like a longer video because you don't have to get buffalo sauce all over your remote.
Oh no. I went to the community tab and I see this sentence. This channel hasn't posted yet.
Why?
Man, what is something to consider is that the community tab now is available to channels of all sizes. You go into your back end and you simply apply and check a few boxes. It's kind of like verifying at another level that you're legit to YouTube if you're a new channel. If you're at 10 subscribers, you may not get a lot of benefit from the community tab, but I would argue at 866 subscribers, that is also an opportunity of doing some polls, getting some feedback, asking some questions, putting some square images there. Again, as you think about community tab, yes, you can also promote some old videos to new subscribers and things like that. But a lot of it's quite literally the name of the tab. It's just about building community. So we just posted 4 hours ago a question. That's it. Just one question, very short. We a lot of times will post, or the format for the photography and the design is square. That's a big key to know. And so we will post just valuable based stuff on its own, or here's a square version of one of our recent videos that is the best way to promote a video. Put a nice photo or design and then link in the first 2 lines or first line of text to the YouTube video. And so good tip and good reminder for all of us watching right now, use your community tab. And I want to challenge you, if you're watching this video and you haven't used it, go over there and do a poll or do a question. Do that in the next 5 minutes. Like, do it as you're watching this very video, just to kind of condition yourself. You could be posting on the community tab literally daily. I would hope weekly. And especially if you're closer to 1,000 or beyond, don't ignore your community tab. It can actually lead to new subscribers, but one of the big things is it can lead to depth. Of course, if you have new people meeting you this month, but you've been in the game for years, it also is thinking about some of your hits from the past that you may want to promote there. And those could be a few signals that also get some clicks, get some watch time, and might even kind of boost a little bit those videos being recommended, because you're just kind of cross promoting content within your own channel. And so do not ignore the community tab. And the final thing I'll say too, as we do a couple final questions, is I really believe everything you've learned, all the skills you've been building, thumbnail design, video creation, your expertise in the custom designs, I really sense some big opportunity coming for you on the other side of making a few small tweaks. I want to speak to the grind. You've been posting for years and you're not at 1,000 subscribers right now. And I don't know how you're feeling, but sometimes it can maybe feel a little discouraged, or why am I not bigger? There's a good niche. It ebbs and flows. And especially as you tap into trend surfing and tying this into, of course, Rings of Power, or Ring of Power is out. And so Lord of the Rings hits kind of a revival in terms of awareness, tapping into the MCU. Of course, you got to be on brand for what you're passionate about. But there's no doubt about it. My friend Caleb said, YouTube's trends in psychology. That was like somebody goes, really, YouTube comes down to trends in psychology. If there's like two big things, understanding what's trending, that doesn't mean abandoning your niche or your focus. It just means what's trending that's related to my niche and that could tie into it. And then psychology, the creator who understands the viewer best wins. So what are people thinking about? What would people want to see? And what are people who are not subscribed? You've been serving this community of 866 people, but there's 100,000 people and beyond that haven't discovered you yet. How do they think? What are they into? What would they click on? What would they find fascinating? The creator who understands the viewer best wins. All right. Lori asks, can you have affiliate links with shorts in the description section? The answer is yes, but it's very difficult to get to the description on a short. You might as well, because why not? You know, even optimizing shorts. Do tags really matter on shorts that much? Not really. I still do them. I use vidIQ and I quickly click the vidIQ logo so I can add the appropriate tags. I still do a short description because if YouTube gives me the field, I want to do best practices. I'm most concerned with the title. And I will put affiliate links in the description. But here's your big opportunity, Lori. Pinned comment. The pinned comment of a short is something that you should be really thoughtful of. I will use the pinned comment on a short to link to another video. Typically, that's my favorite. But if an affiliate link is relevant, I will put the affiliate link there and I'll put an asterisk and make sure to disclose that it is an affiliate link. So that would be your better opportunity. And we, in our shorts masterclass recently, we revealed, we looked at a channel that was a van life channel. And even in their short, they listed like 4 cool accessories they couldn't live without. And number 3 was like these packable blankets. And they said, text on screen, there was actually no talking in the short. Text on screen said, check out the pinned comment for our 20% off coupon code as you're listening to the music, and they're using visuals to show off these accessories for van life. And so pinned comment is your big opportunity when it comes to that. Gina's asking, what's the best strategy to change niches, Dan?
Well, it kind of depends. So if you're going to pivot really hard away from what you're doing with your current audience, you have to consider a couple things. Is there any chance at all that at least a fraction of them will like the next thing you're going to do? And maybe based on the fact that they know you, they might, but maybe there's like a slight Venn diagram there. If there is, then I say, okay, cool, same channel, et cetera, et cetera. But I had a situation where I was pivoting away from a content in a really big way. And what I decided to do was start a whole new channel because the channel I was pivoting away from was still making passive income. And what I didn't want to do was disturb the videos that were doing so well by trying to bring in a new audience and confuse the whole thing. It made more sense to let that channel be its own thing. And I could always come back to it in the future and then start fresh with everything I learned from that first channel on the new channel. And it worked out very well for me. I'm very happy I did it that way. So that would be kind of my advice to you, is to really look inward and say, is what I'm about to do different enough to constitute a whole new channel? I don't know, Sean, if that's the conventional advice, but that's my own experience tells me that would be the first question.
Oh, I love it. That's some fantastic advice. Dan, as we land the plane today, tell us a little bit about what y'all are doing over at vidIQ.
We, like Sean here, we want to help creators. We want to help you meet whatever goal that is, whether you just want YouTube to be this fun hobby where people follow you because they just are on, you know, the same journey you are in terms of your hobbies, the things you're doing, or if you want to become a full-blown business owner with your YouTube content. That is what we aim to do. We want vidIQ to be a place all creators can learn about all things YouTube.
Yeah, I love it. So if you haven't subscribed to the vidIQ channel, you definitely want to subscribe over there. There's also channel reviews that happen weekly, a show that they do, and some video reviews. Dan also really specializes in gaming, so they kind of separate out the gaming versus non-gaming channels. And so a lot of cool stuff happening over there. Can we show some love and hit the like button for Dan, adding so much value today? Dan, we appreciate you. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
And Think Media Podcast channel, definitely check out. You can see Victoria on Team Think. We have today's video brought to you by vidIQ. You can get the paid plan for just $1 at vidiq.com/think. A lot of cool tools and features are happening inside of there. And then I want to remind you If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the Think Media podcast channel. The vision of this particular channel and the core is a weekly show, at least, of 1 to 2 episodes of our Think Media podcast. And most recently, we sat down with Nolan and Omar and myself, and we have some new content, new episodes. Let me know, have you seen this episode yet? This is a new format for us. We were able to go to the video department, which is a project that Omar launched here in Vegas. That pretty cool set, huh? What do you think about the set? And we've been shot a whole batch of podcasts. And so if you like Spotify or Apple, or anywhere you listen to audio podcasts, you can get that version. But it's also a video podcast that you can, of course, subscribe on this channel to, and watch on a weekly basis, 1 to 2 episodes uploaded every single week. The Think Media podcast. Matt saw the episode. Pierre loves the new format. Shelly, I appreciate the feedback on it. Yeah, we're excited. And so we're trying to innovate. And we'd love your feedback about topics you'd love to see. In fact, the chat here is sometimes hard to study, but if you have any topic ideas that you'd love for us or questions that we didn't answer today, post those here on the replay of this video so that we'll research those, and we would love to build some episodes, off of some of your ideas in regards to the Think Media podcast in your ears and potentially in front of your eyes if you watch it here on YouTube every single week. My name is Sean Cannell, rhymes with YouTube channel. Thanks for being a part of this live stream today, and I will see you in a future episode.